creatures and gods around. Beware, prepare, it's dangerous. They'll linger in the dark. Climb from below. Temples and tombs will fall down. Explore the realms. What is meant to be, take it all. Obey, hear the voice of God. Anubis came to your sacred land. Make way to the afterlife. What was once your palace, now your grave. Awaken your soul. Dive and devour the Red Sea. Take control and drown the enemies. Across the vast wild desert. Move your feet along to the rhythm of the sand. Rise and sharpen up your spear. Aim your bow, make them bow down in fear. Chaos and new beginnings. Find your destiny and the magic and the omen of the mind.
Hey, to have peace, yes, Lord, there must be strife. I already see the end of life. I accepted death, my eyes are open. I read and told them there's a light. Eternal life awaits me, yes. No one can dare deny me. Yeah. I gladly give my life for my people. Can my kingdom point the way? Death is small price to pay. To God to pray every day. To the promised land, I understand the higher, the highest height. And the lower, the lowest depths. I'm not afraid of my last breath. Life is nothing but a test. May the gods only know what's next.
Alarms, hear the voice of God. Anubis came to your sacred land. Make way to the afterlife. What was once your palace, now your grave. Awaken your soul. Dive and devour the Red Sea. Take control and drown the enemies. Across the vast wild desert. Move your feet along to the rhythm of the sand. Rise and sharpen up your spear. Aim your bow, make them bow down in fear. Chaos and new beginnings. Find your destiny in the magic and the omen of the mind.
My eyes are open, eternal morning. The crown is golden. I have been chosen. My eyes are open, eternal morning. The crown is golden. I have been chosen.
Awaken your soul. Dive and devour the Red Sea. Take control and drown the enemies. Across the vast wild desert. Move your feet along to the rhythm of the sand. Rise and sharpen up your spear. Aim your bow, make them bow down in fear. Chaos and new beginnings. Find your destiny in the magic and the omen of the mind. Wake up, sundown, creatures and gods around. Beware, prepare, it's dangerous. They'll linger in the dark. Climb from below. Temples and tombs will fall down. Explore the realms. What is meant to be, take it all. Obey, hear the voice of God. Anubis came to your sacred land. Make way to the afterlife. What was once your palace, now your grave. Awaken your soul. Dive and devour the Red Sea. Take control and drown the enemies. Across the vast wild desert. Move your feet along to the rhythm of the sand. Rise and sharpen up your spear. Aim your bow, make them bow down in fear. Chaos and new beginnings. Find your destiny in the magic and the omen of the mind.
Hey, to have peace, yes, Lord, there must be strife. I already see the end of life. I accepted death, my eyes are open. I read and told them there's a light. Eternal life awaits me, yes. No one can dare deny me. Yeah. I gladly give my life for my people. Can my kingdom point the way? Death is small price to pay. To God to pray every day. To the promised land, I understand the higher, the highest height. And the lower, the lowest depths. I'm not afraid of my last breath. Life is nothing but a test. May the gods only know what's next.
What is going on, Governors? Chiskel here, and today we're casting Arc of Osiris League. It's round 2 in the finals in the realm of Sobek. Today we're going to be watching at W34 versus 75 DC. And it was kind of exciting last week. There was an upset based on power. So let me show you the leaderboard, and we can take a look at this matchup, because it is pretty exciting, okay? So here we are looking at the finals, round 2, and 75 DC won, not by a little, but by a fairly large margin, almost 20,000 points. Now, if we look at the power of these alliances, W34 has 3.55 billion power in their lineup. They have 11 wins and 1 loss, served up, by the way, by 75 DC. 75 DC is sitting on 3.1 billion power. So it's definitely exciting to see an underdog by power. This is the realm 2975 doing well. However, this could be the comeback week for W34. Now, if W34 doesn't win, if 75 DC gets the win today, then they are the champion for the realm of Sobek. So this is a very exciting matchup. And let's take a minute to appreciate the sort of road that these alliances went on to get to this position. 75 DC started in the bottom right side of the bracket. And in their first matchup, it looks like they got a no-show. Now, there's a bunch of reasons why a group might no-show, and maybe they were beaten with, only 792 points, but, every now and then, KVK fighting intervenes, and you need to do that. So it's understandable that occasionally an alliance doesn't feel like they can commit to their Arc of Osiris match. And here we are. So they get their first win. From here, however, they fight 2949 with 72,000 points is their victory for the last one. So they also had an overwhelming victory here. But 75 DC wins this matchup by almost 40,000 points. And then they fight against 69F. And they beat them by a shocking 60,000 points. So 75 DC has got some magic about them, that's for sure. If we look to the other side of the bracket, let's get a look at the journey of W34. You can see in their first match here, they had a huge win. A huge win against the Kingdom of 3004, the Battle Bunnies. From there, they had another really big win, 40,000 points almost on this board. So W34 had some big wins right up until they fought 65 AC, who almost gave them a run for the money. But W34 got the win, and now they're in the finals. Now, this first finals matchup, if we get a look at can we see the score here for this matchup? It doesn't look like I can show it to you. Oh yeah, here it is, obviously, right below. This score is pretty good for 75 DC. So will they be able to have a repeat performance? Or will W34 come back with some new tricks up their sleeve, having learned from the defeat, and bring something new that can get them the win? I'll be honest, as someone who casts Arc of Osiris, I think it's very exciting when we get a 3-game series. So hopefully we'll end up with extra Arc of Osiris to watch, spectate, and enjoy together. But if 75 DC seals the deal today, then they lock up their win as the champions for the realm of Sobek. So let's see what happens today. So I'm going to jump back to my camera here, and the matchup begins in just a moment. For those of you wondering, the stream is on a very heavy delay. This is very intentional. We don't want to reveal any critical information about the matchup that wouldn't otherwise be available to the players in the matchup. So now I'm jumping into the match, and in a moment, I'll be able to bring you with me for the finals of, what is this? The 7th season of Arc of Osiris League. Man, it is crazy. I was there for the first season. It's been quite a journey that we've been on here. Back before they even had realms, we're in the realm of Sobek. And in just a moment, I'll bring you with me in game. We can go check this out. Drop your hype into the chat. Who do you think is going to be the victor in this realm? Here we go. Back into the match, baby. It looks like, by votes, 30.4% of people think that the team with more power, that's W34, will get the win. Whereas almost 70% think it's going to be the folks who won the last time. That is 75 DC. Now, if you know anything about these alliances or these players, drop it in the chat for everyone to enjoy. I expect we'll see the start of this matchup shape up similar to how most matches start. We should see a good push through the Shrine of War to the Desert Altar. That's the jam. And on this side, through the Shrine of War to the Desert Altar. But will something funky happen because of the fog? We'll find out. Okay, folks. Let's get a look at the power of all the players on the map. Pretty big power. Holy moly. It looks like they've all got the same icon here. They've all changed their avatar to be identical. That is some unity if I've ever seen it. Now, typically what you do here is you port in a very strategic way in order to get certain players in certain positions. Seems like a small thing, but you know, all these micro optimizations add up over the course of the matchup. Okay, here we go. The battle begins. Looking to the north side. W34 with a quick start out of the gates. Tier 1 troops looking to capture some structures. It does look like one of the players who is using their Tier 1 troops have their city a good distance back here. They're so much further back from the other folks. Of course, you can only have one person in this front spot, but they've got a little bit of a longer journey to go here. And looking to the side, first capture, boom. Outpost of Seth goes to 75 DC. They are cruising on their way over to the Ob. Up top, haha, first 2 outposts in the hands of W34. And they're cruising once again down to the obelisk. This obelisk should flip over pretty soon. We're looking around. Here comes the speedy troops. Okay. It looks like 75 DC's got a little bit of a head start here. Not by much, but every micro optimization adds up. And oh my, they're using siege to get this first outpost. An interesting choice. I don't know that I've seen that before. All outposts captured. And would you look at that? I spy with my little eye, as my good friend Cortex would say. Would you look at that? Sentry is down. And they see it. These tier 1 troops able to take out the sentry. Now, remember, in the new Arc of Osiris, your vision is limited. A sentry gives you vision. Sentries are invisible except to other sentries. So now, because these sentries are placed so close to each other, these tier 1 troops might be able to defeat this sentry. I'm not actually sure. It's such low DPS. It's actually incredible. And, here comes someone to support. Well, you don't see this every day. Tier 1s struggling to take out a sentry. You know, it's 2023. It's a new world. Anything is possible. Sentry is down. Which, by the way, makes the attack trajectory of the team in red now a mystery. I feel like that sentry would have been... I don't know. I mean, both of these sentries are placed in ways that I perhaps wouldn't have expected. I wouldn't have expected this sentry over here. I almost feel like the red sentry was placed intentionally to try to take out the blue sentry. Like they were trying to enable a sneak attack of sorts. Although here we are. The fighting begins. Rally's on its way as well. Ooh, Saladin primary. Let's go, baby. You love to see it. Wow. Remember, the realm of Sobek is a very young realm. So we're looking at pre-Season of Conquest commanders. Honestly, pretty hype. Honestly, pretty hype. I mean, you remember I was talking about the first Arc of Osiris League, where I played, by the way. And here we are with the same commanders. It's a throwback for sure. Edward of Woodstock with Tamaris, El Cid primary. Oh, man. Minamoto with... Is that Bybars? Oh, my gosh. You'll love to see the combos being used here. Alex and Charles, Salad and Ethel. Dude, I'm pretty sure I even saw an Alex and Freddy. Dude, this actually... I would love, unironically, I would love to go play an Arc of Osiris with just these commanders. I feel like that'd be pretty fun. Honestly. Just have a throwback Arc of Osiris, old school cool only. This is fun to watch. Okay, so what's happening here? Really good defense. Really good defense by W34. Pushing through... Oh, wait a minute. Little sneaky attack. Might get a little bit of traction. I don't think this is enough marches to actually stop this force, though. So I'm not sure. Some of the folks peeling off to go deal with that. Meanwhile, we can look down to the south. In the south, W34 is throwing their weight around. And honestly, I love this play by them. This is exactly what they need to be doing. Although... Wait. What happened here? Double C Captain. Big Poggers. Guarding the Sky Altar. That's probably not going to last long. Swarm is in. And Double C's fate is sealed. Okay. From there, map is looking fairly blue. Shrine of Life. Swarm in. Saladin. The Captain. Looking to hold. But definitely outgunned here. The swarm does its work, and the map is evening up, quite frankly. I had thought that W34 would get the first capture over here based on their presence. Oh, man, we've got a Wu Zetian captain. You'll love to see the old school Wu Zetian holding it down. 2 minutes till this garrison flips, though, and that swarm is looking menacing. I don't know that this garrison can hold, but if there were a captain that could get the job done, it might have been Wu Zetian, but not in this situation, not in these numbers. The swarm doing its thing. And garrison falls. Looking elsewhere on the map. What have we got? Shrine of War, chilling. Desert Altar, low but probably chilling. And, hello, Shrine of Life. Wu Zetians everywhere. Love to see it. Swarm is in. Edward of Woodstock with Tommy. Great old school combo there. El Cid with E-Song. Another top tier old school combo. Even Constantine Mulan in the field. Let's go. Such exciting combos, honestly. These were just, you know, you started playing this game and you looked at these combos and you were like, wow, I hope to have those someday, you know? I mean, once you get a sense of what you're supposed to be doing, you know what I mean? Mulan in such early KVKs feels like a bit of a luxury. You have just so many priorities and things that you want to work on. It's cool to see the Mulan on the field. Meanwhile, Khan with Mehmed. What a great combo. Oh, man. Martel Garrison. He's got 1:24 to hold. If the Garrison holds, the first capture points go to W34, which is exactly the kind of start they need. It feels like they're having a very good start here. So I'm sort of curious how these arcs are going to go. Hidden Sentry down. We can check that out later. We've got to watch this Swarm. It's got another minute left. Let's see what happens. Martel, stalwart as ever, holding on quite well. Double Alex. We've got an Ethel and a Minamoto Swarm going on here. But that Garrison, I mean, here comes reinforcements. I just don't think they can get it in time. Even the captain who's going to go in, the Wu Zetian, is swarming now. 2 minutes till arc. Let's go to the middle. What's going on here? Holy! 75. All over this arc. So this must be how, perhaps, they won their last round. It's getting arcs because they have committed to the middle. Wow. They are here early. Now, I am worried for W34's timing here. I mean, if they're going for the building game, they're not holding enough buildings to say, oh yeah, we're doing that. And they do not have enough in the middle to say that they're doing this either. So they are in actually quite a pickle right now. I think this first arc is looking very favorable for 75 DC. They're getting ready for this arc fight. We really need to see more folks arrive, although, woo, they are on their way. Making their way to the middle, but, I mean, there's so much over here, too. And then the Desert Altar falls, although they did get the first capture points. I mean, hey, look, if you look at the scoreboard, it is looking pretty good for W34. It's just, yeah, if they don't get this arc, how much is it going to matter? One minute and 10 seconds till arc spawns. And 75 not only is well positioned here, but they're holding this Sky Altar as well. So they've really disrupted the building game. Oh, man. Thutmose with E-Song. As much as I want to watch that, we got to go to the middle here. This is where the hype is. Very good discipline, ignoring this player who's low and blue. Really good discipline. Okay. Discipline ends here. They're going to go take that player out, I think. I mean, that player in blue really wants to reset his marches as fast as possible. This does not look coordinated for W34. They do pop abilities here. Total Vision. And it looks like Mystical Formation was used, which I would argue is not meta. And this engage from W34 is looking a little disjointed. They got half their guys running around, half their guys not in the fight. I guess a third not in the fight, a third running around. I mean, this is not a clean engage, I would say, for W34. This little ring around the rosy exercise going on here just seems really confusing to me. I don't know where they're going. I guess they want to take out the carrier, but like, if you're in red, this is what you should be doing. Being a nice big ball, and you just mow folks down, right? That's the goal. Really good carry over here by Daniel. Wow, nice grab, good movement. Arc is down. I mean, looking at this matchup, it's pretty easy to see that although W34 had a great start to the matchup, they're really missing the coordination necessary for the Arc fight to seal the deal, which I think is how 75 DC is in part won their last matchup. And here we are, the Arc fight. Now, if you're in W34, I think given that they are just stagger committing so many people to this, that they just want to stall this Arc as much as they can. So if this double C locks onto the Arc carrier, they can try to stall. And maybe that will get them what they need. Maybe. Not totally convinced here. Because 75 DC is just mowing people down, and the sort of stagger commitment from W34 is leaving them extremely vulnerable. You know, look, how do I explain this very simply? If you bring 100 marches to the fight, both sides have 100 marches, okay? If I start with 100 and you only bring 50, but over the course of a couple minutes, you have 5 more come, then another 5, and then another 5, and then another 5, etc. It's not even the same universe of punching power. I mean, you get decimated if you don't have all your troops at the start. So, yeah, 75 DC just did exactly that. I mean, the stagger entry into the mid-fight from W34 was a big coordination hiccup on their part that really let the mass grouping of 75 DC to just sort of clear the field. Like a Zamboni on the ice, they clean it up and get things ready for the next round with the Arc, because they are going to probably score this right away. They're going to the outpost, which is like basically the most dangerous, high-risk place you could take this darn thing. They actually move a CPO out of the garrison to make room for the carrier. Damn, Daniel. Way to score that Arc. So there we go. Arc is scored. 75 DC is basically saying, hey, look, with Arcs like that, we'll run Arcs all day long, as fast as we can, as many as we can. So WDC has really just one thing they need to do to step up their game. And that is very simply arrive to the middle on time. And if they can arrive to middle on time, we've got a fight on our hands. If they can't figure out how to get to middle on time, they're going to be in big trouble. Because remember, 75 gets one more win, and that is fully GG territory. They will be the champions of this league. So they are cruising right now toward that championship title. They've got a lead of about 2,500 points, but obviously that is not enough of a lead to say that a win has been locked in. So we've got a lot more Arc of Osiris to spectate in this matchup before a winner can be declared. Looking around the map a little bit. Rally in on Wuzetian. Ooh, Thutmose Isong. Man, that's a powerful rally. Let's just watch this rally do its work for a second. Thutmose is a commander that, I'll tell you, wasn't available to me back in the day. But man, it is doing work. Looks like we've got, I think, a different Daniel. How many Daniels are on their team? Is this the same Daniel or a different Daniel? Either way, Swarm is in. Okay. Hey, let's look around the map. Wu Zetian holding it down. Big Swarm. Lot of buildings flashing here. Oh, Constantine Captain. Let's go. So old school. Wow. Constantine, man. Multiple Constantines. Okay. Sure. Sure. Let me tell you, I remember the first time I saw a city get rallied that had a Constantine on the wall. And back in the day, it was like, wow, that is such a cool garrison. I can't believe how strong it is. Yeah, times have changed. Times have changed, but I can see why they'd want to use it in Arc League. When expertise, he gives stats for all troop types. Although he's obviously a infantry specialist with 40% health. He also reduces damage taken, which is nice. He'll also even reduce the attack of the enemy quite significantly. 5 minutes till Arc. W34 has really one mission, in my estimation. If you're W34, your job is to stabilize the buildings, get to the middle, and win yourself some arcs. That's what they got to do. And if 75 can just run arcs, that's just GG's. They've got to contest. They've got to find a way to be productive here in this contention. And if they stagger, join the fight, they're going to lose it. So let's see what they can do. Looking around the map, Charles Martel shielding like a boss. Amazing. Wu Zetian doing her thing. Love to see it. Shrine of War. Chilling. So the mid fight. This is where it's at. And it's hard to say who's got more coming to mid. I kind of want to say that it's 75, but I'm actually not sure that it is. It probably is. 75 understands. Win the arcs, win the game. Guys, it's simple. I miss when arc planning was this simple. It's like, hey guys, if we just get all the arcs, we win. See, it's easy, guys. Come on. Claim all the arcs, win game. Easy. This is what we got to do. But that's kind of what they're up to. That's kind of what they're up to. Get arcs, win game. Grouping to the middle now. 250 till arc. Hidden Sentry. Where's it going? Back here. This doesn't make a lot of sense to me for a sentry placement. I don't know why you'd put a sentry here. Especially now. I like, they already have troops here. They gained vision to nothing. I don't understand that one. I mean, maybe they wanted to take out the enemy sentry, but that also doesn't make sense at this point. I'm kind of not sure what they're up to. Was that a misclick, maybe? I don't know. Chat, help me out. What's the strategy behind this sentry? Folks gathering in the middle. I mean, look, I'm inclined to say 75 DC is going to execute with the same coordination they did last time and be in really good shape here. A little bit of a poke on this sentry. But again, I just don't know what taking out the sentry accomplishes at this point. Both of these sentries feel pretty irrelevant at this juncture. But maybe this sentry was down earlier, and it might have been relevant earlier. I do like this play right over here by W34. This I really like. Kind of disrupt the backline a little bit. We've seen this be really successful in other situations. I really like this. As long as they can keep the fight away from the main ball and like kind of pick a couple people off, that's a really good play. Dust Up activated, influencing the vision. Total Vision activated. So, you know, just the thing I'd really like to see W34 learn to do is move as a team. And this seems like I'm nitpicking, but I'm really not. So every second that all these marches back here are doing nothing, To the Death activated. Oh, man. 75 DC just full committing to this arc. Along with Heaven's Grace. Wow. Okay. This is a big play. Weird thing about To the Death is that you can't get healed while it's active. So all these Richard the Firsts on the field actually would do nothing while they have To the Death. But I don't know who's going to win this arc. I think W34 is now got enough bodies here they can perhaps leverage that power advantage they've got. But they can't stop Daniel. He takes the arc yet again. Daniel back at it again. Okay. Then W34 gets the arc. That's what they need to do. They got to move this arc. Arc is down. The Machine, the arc carrier. Meanwhile, 75 holding 3 altars. Who's got this? I want to say Blue's going to win here. But not if they keep letting the arc get picked up by the other side. You know, this is going to sound silly. This is going to sound really silly. But, you know, look. I think it's worth having a practice Arc of Osiris game where you just get into the habit of being able to pick up the arc quickly. Turns out if you can do that, it's a huge advantage. Arc carrier is moving. Okay, folks, we've got a game on our hands here. So what happens? If, and this is a big if, but if W34 can take this arc successfully back to their side, which I'm not convinced that they can yet, big reinforcements coming here for 75. I don't know that this is safe yet. But if they can bring this back to their side, and I just don't see enough 34 coming back to the middle. Maybe they have enough. I don't know. The next question is, can 75 mount an attack on the carrier? And the answer, well, maybe they can. Alexander the Great carrier is pretty awkward. I mean, he kind of has some march speed boosts. Alex and Martel. I mean, you got 20% on the expertise of Martel. You got 30% on the Alexander the Great. 50% march speed ain't bad. But the base troop type of infantry is not amazing. But that carrier's, I mean, hey, yo, they're going. Those French throwing axemen are going as fast as they possibly can here. And as long as they can keep this carrier moving, they don't have to worry too much about this. Basically, these guys walk into the grinder, and W34 eats them up for free. As long as they can keep their carrier alive. Which, nope. That's a problem for them. So now there's a new opportunity for 75 to get this arc. And 75 sees it. I mean, they are full send. And I'm really not seeing the right level of commitment from 34. I think 34 does not understand that this arc is not theirs. I really think 34 has no idea how much trouble they're in. And in fairness, right, what does 34 see? They see this. They don't know that it's worse. It's much worse. This arc is anything but safe, but we need to watch it. As long as they can move it, they might be okay. I'm inclined to believe they just need to try to score it as fast as they can. They just need to go for the score here. And if they score the arc, they don't have to worry about losing it. I don't know. It's kind of dangerous to take it anywhere near a building right now. This is exciting. 75's right on the carrier. They're going for the takedown. Are they going to get it, though? The carrier's flying. That double C is moving, man. Charge talents. Ah, they got slowed. There it is. Carrier's in trouble. Carrier down. Woo! This is where plays need to be made. W34 cruising yet again. I think it's a little premature to go after this building. 75 DC going for the building, but they need to go for field. I actually am very happy with the W34 presence here. I feel like they are committing the right amount to this arc now. And they are... The thing is, they lost some points in the points per minute game here. They've fallen quite behind, actually. So, yeah, they'll score the arc, but they're still going to be down by a little bit. But this is a close game. This is exciting. This is very exciting. This is the kind of Arc of Osiris League gameplay we're here for, baby. Let's go. Uh-oh. I think the arc carrier targeted the march for just a second to fight, and he was like, no, just kidding, just kidding. So, do they hold this arc or not? What do you think? What should they do? Do you hold the arc here? I feel like they could hold the arc if they think they can get another one, but I don't know. I think if you're W34, you should score the arc and go for another arc and then hold that one. I think you don't hold this arc and you do hold the next arc. That's what I would do. Because they need to see, like, I think they need another arc to win. So if they hold it and then they're like, uh-oh, we actually need another arc, they're in trouble. But I think they should score this immediately. I actually think they should score this immediately and go for another arc. It's not what they're doing. I think this is a mistake. I think this leaves them really vulnerable. The only reason you would do this is if you think you can win the building game by a lot. I'm not convinced that's the case. Big swarm on their Sky Altar, literally, as we're talking about why they should just score the arc. Let's see if they can hold it. Swarm is happening. Constantine's a decent captain here. Look at this. All 4 altars right now for 75. And they still aren't scoring the arc. This really feels like a misstep. This really feels like a huge misstep to not score this arc. I could be wrong here, but I think they needed to score this arc. They need to go for more arcs. They're not winning the building game. And I'm not sure that they will stabilize this building game in their favor. So they have to go for arcs. looks like 34. Yeah, I mean, I get why they're not swarming. Like, there's still a lot of marches here. They just got to get this building. It's going to start ticking for points soon. They are going for the swarm now. This is good, I think. They got to get this building. It looks like they're attacking... not quite attacking the Sky Altar. They have presence here. I don't know why. Dust Up activated. Wow, that's a little weird. Big swarm going on this altar. They're trying to get this thing back. I don't know if they'll be able to, but that's what they got to go for. Great opportunity here for 75 to reinforce and hold this thing, but looks like their forces are actually dwindling. They're doing a good job reinforcing it and keeping it alive, but I think it's in trouble here, big trouble. I've never seen such a low health garrison. There it is. Okay. So finally, 34 stabilizes. Is that enough? I don't know. They've simply stabilized. They're still holding the Arc, which maybe that's a good play. I don't know though. I mean, did they need more than 2 arcs to win? Maybe. They're so far behind, they kind of needed 3 arcs, which only would have been possible if they scored the arc immediately like I said they should. So this could get awkward really quickly here. Sentry down. Vision by the Desert Altar. Looking around the map. Shrine of War. Charles Martel, the captain. Love to see it. Charles Martel, great counterattack from that 4th skill. 30% counterattack. That'll do work in this situation. And a nice shield to boot. Love to see all that stuff working together. Shrine of War. Looks like it's going to hold. Ooh, whoa. Big swarm. With a rally. Edward and Tommy rally. Let's go. Wu Zetian doing her thing. At this pace, honestly, 75 DC is just kind of doing exactly what they need to do. Looks like this scoreboard could get closer and closer. We're looking at a 7,000 point game. The arcs might be enough to do this. This game could be closer than I thought. I mean, if W34 gets both these arcs, this could come down to the wire. This could be very close indeed. I wasn't expecting that. More folks on their way from W34 to pressure this Desert Altar. Holy cow. I feel like when you see this many red marches from 75 DC, you probably just commit your troops somewhere else, right? If you're W34, I don't know. 75 is holding all 4 altars again. I mean, you look, 75 is doing the things they need to be doing, given that they don't have the arc. I just so strongly feel like W34 just surrendered an advantage here. They could have had an extra arc in this game, and I feel like they needed it. 75 DC really just flexing their dominance in the building game. 4 altars is the ultimate flex. 590 points per minute for now, but that's going to change a lot. And 20 minutes of that, and you're in big GG territory, that's for sure. Nice captain swap. We're back to Constantine. It's a good call. Rally's on its way. Struggling to find a place to hit, actually. The rally is literally walking circles around the garrison. This is one of those moments where you need to back a swarming march or two off to let the rally do its work. Okay, garrison flips. 75 DC. Putting in work. $75 DC doing everything within their power to try to make this a 9,000 point game. Maybe even a 10,000 point game. Before this first arc. There it is. Okay. The arc is scored, but it's way too late for that, man. It's way too late for that. There's only one arc left in this game. There could have been 2 arcs, and I would argue that's what W34 needed. So this is tough for W34 now. Their pathway to victory is much harder, in my opinion. So W34 needs to be dominating the building game now in order to offset the point differential, and they need to get the arc. So this is a situation on their hands, that's for sure. They have a lot they need to get done. Desert Altar. Big Swarm. Holding on by just a thread. The Desert Altar, good reinforcement for 75. That Constantine is really precariously low. That thing will pop any second, and there it is. 6 minutes, 40 seconds till arc. W34 has stabilized the building game. But that's not good enough anymore, remember? Now they have to win the building game and get the arc. I'm telling you, if I were W34, I would have set up for 2 arcs, not 1. I don't mean to be a broken record, but I'm just looking at what's happening here, and I'm thinking to myself, how did they plan to win this? What was their game plan here? They've got to get buildings, but they haven't been getting buildings. So I don't know how they're going to turn this around. Rally's moving down, but it has no support. That's not going to get what they need done. I don't know how they flip that around. And they keep hitting this Desert Altar, which happens to be the place where the most 75 DC is there to defend. So they're kind of playing into that. And I'm not really sure why. Man, this is just such a tough situation for W34. And they could have created a different situation. They had control of that, and they didn't. Yeah, this garrison, it is very reinforced. And they lost the Sky Altar again. Oh, man. W34 is in trouble. Ethel Barca. What a combo, man. Old school cool. You kind of love to see it, actually. Swarm. Trying to do some work on this Thutmose garrison, but the garrison's just too full. Yeah, wow. I mean, that is just a very full garrison, and it turns out Isong is a really good garrison captain. Wow, look at that. Holy. Yeah, I mean, W34 is in a world of hurt now. And, you know, we saw this coming from 10 minutes ago as we spectated, but W34 saw a different picture, which is why they were holding the Arc. I just don't think the picture they envisioned is going to align with the reality here. That I think they needed to score that Arc and give themselves a 2-arc opportunity window. Three altars for 75. 75 has got to be feeling pretty good about their position here. This is almost exactly where you'd want to be, right? This is the situation you'd want. Rally plus Swarm on this Sky Altar. Looking pretty ineffective, though. Plenty of defense here. 3 minutes till middle. Oh, boy. Let's see what happens here at the temple. Oh, man. If 34 gets this Arc, they should have just committed to more Arcs. If they don't get this Arc, then it doesn't really matter. But they needed to, with the scoreboard being what it is, they needed to get the Arc and get the buildings, and it didn't happen. 75 is just really doing their thing. I mean, look, you can really just see the difference in the sort of setup here. Like, 75's in a tight ball. 34 is just kind of spread out. A lot more 75 coming here. More folks on their way from 34. With 11 minutes and 30 seconds left in the match, it is not looking good for 34, even if they get this Arc. Here we go. 75 starting to creep up. Dust Up activated. Believe that was Total Vision. Now the Swarm. To the death for 75 DC. And Heaven's Grace for 34. Ooh. I don't know. You kind of want to be on the to the death side of things, right? Here it is. The last arc of the match. Heaven's Grace for 75. Oh, man, they had 10 points saved up. So they used the to the death, waited until it was over, then popped the Heaven's Grace to get the full healing. If 75 doesn't win this with all those points used, Wow. I mean, that would just signal that 34 really, really, really should have gone for more arcs. $34, good grab on the arc. Arc is moving. Okay, arc is down. Arc is in movement again. And who's winning this fight, though? It's actually really not determined yet. I think it could be 75 that's winning this fight, though, actually. It's unclear to me who's winning. Daniel back at it again. Arc is moving to the red side. Arc is down. This is anybody's game. Well, this arc is anyways. Scoreboard, looking very good for 75. I think 75's got this arc. Yeah, there it goes. I mean, I think this is why 34 did not want to do more arcs. So they were worried they'd lose the arc. I get it. I definitely get it. But even if they had got this arc, they weren't going to win. So the only way you could have won is to win both arcs. But given that they didn't get this one, I think this situates 75 as the dominant team here. Arc is moving, but let's not count it as a win until it's locked in. There's a definite attack vector that could be taken here onto this carrier. Will they use it, though? Folks are still swinging around this side of the temple. And even this guy's kind of committing through there. Everybody should be kind of swinging through this way to the Shrine of War if they want to have a chance at this carrier. If you're in red, you just score this arc immediately, which is what they're doing. Yeah, they're just going to take this to Shrine of War. They're going to cap that thing and claim themselves the victor. Arc is down. Don't know that it matters too much here, though. The patented E-Song incense emoji getting thrown around. Known in the rock community as the equivalent of good game. See you later, GG. Arc is moving yet again. I think at the end of the day, 75 has really flexed their coordination in order to get their win last match and, once again, in this match today. 75 with a big score last week. W34 definitely improved. However, 75 is just really, really strong. 75 with the dust up activation. Looks like the arc is locked in, giving 75 a little over 11,000 points of lead. battle happening now at the desert altar. Rallies in. Whew. That rally swarmed out. 4 minutes left in the match. Looks like this building is pretty safe. Wu Zetian will be able to hold. Nice attack on the Sky Altar going on right now. I don't know if it's enough, though. Looks like it might be enough because it's just one player here. They can swap their marches out as long as they're not the captain, but I think this Sky Altar might flip. Oh, there's the one reinforcement that it needed. Whew. Here comes more support. By the way, if you're enjoying today's Arc of Osiris League casting, consider subscribing for more Arc of Osiris League casting and gameplay. All of the casters have their YouTube channels linked in the description as well. There are multiple matches cast simultaneously. Check them out if you're looking for videos designed to help you get better at playing Rise of Kingdoms. In addition, tons of videos on this channel teaching you about the game, letting you know about updates. So subscribe if you haven't already to the official Rise of Kingdoms channel, which is where we are right now. Desert Altar falls. Once again, the 4 altar setup. Really the ultimate Arc of Osiris flex being performed by 75 DC right now. Altar flips back to blue. Okay. The flex was short-lived. Minute 34 left in the match. Scoreboard. About 11,000 points of differential here. I mean, look, W34 did a good job narrowing the gap from last week. But they needed more. When they held the arc, I think they should have capped it. And then they needed to score the next 2 arcs to pull out a win. Certainly not an easy feat against the highly coordinated 75 DC. With 53 seconds left in the matchup, I don't know. You have a little bit of fun. You bring in a few provisions. And in just a moment, we crown 75 DC as the victor. Good flip on the altar over here. Although that is not going to last long. 5 seconds left in the match. Many, many months leading up to this moment. And there it is. Victory. Lock it in. The MVP from W34, but the victor, 75 DC. 29,739 to 40,481. 2 arcs scored for 75 DC. A solid 24.5 million units healed for 75 DC. 13 million units healed for W34. The kills are about even, although favored 75 DC. Provisions are about even, but that occupation score really gave them a lot of edge as well. Congratulations, 75 DC, your new champion for the realm of Sobek. GG and well played. Tune in later today. We'll be back on the channel casting the 15 UTC Arc of Osiris League matchups. You're not going to want to miss it. A big thank you again to everyone watching the stream and to the moderators. We appreciate you. Until next time, you have fun, smash in the kingdom, and we'll see you back here at 15 UTC.